Hello, everybody, and thank you for stopping by. I want to talk to you about something that has kind of always been a soft spot in my heart, and that is the elderly. And I know I'm elderly, okay, but when I was younger, I remember stories going around that people on Social Security, the elderly, were having a very hard time making it, and they were going into the store and buying cans of cat food that was tuna. And I thought that heartbreaking that they couldn't even afford regular tuna fish. They were buying cat food tuna to make tuna fish sandwiches out of it. And I remember hearing other, you know, young people my age saying, "Oh, well, what's the big deal?" I mean, the tuna fish cat food is the same as regular tuna. And I thought, yeah, right, how horrible. And I wondered, well, where were their kids? Where were their family? Why wasn't there anybody helping them? And I realized as time went by that I truly had a soft spot for elderly. About 20 years ago, I met an elderly couple, sweet couple. They didn't have a car, didn't have a way to get around. They had lots of kids, but the kids hardly ever visited. They just always seemed too busy to visit. Too busy for their parents. They had kids of their own, they worked, they had their own lives, and they were lucky if they got around to seeing their parents once a month. They always had excuses. And I remember talking to a lady one day, and she was kind of upset because she was looking through the flyers and she found pastas that she used. She was a Spanish woman, and they were 4 packets for $1, and the tomato sauce was 5 cans for $1. Back then, it was much cheaper. Okay. And she asked her daughter to please bring her some, and her daughter says, I just don't have time, Mom. Not this week. I just can't do it. Now, this is a woman that her and her husband's on Social Security and barely making ends meet. And to her, that was a big help because for 15 cents, she could make a meal for her and her husband. Because pasta, the sopa that she made, the Spanish-style sopa, they actually sat down and they eat a bowl of it like a meal, and the bag was only 15 cents. And I knew what she was upset about. And so on my way home from work that night, I stopped at that store and I picked her up 15 cans of tomato sauce and 8 bags of that pasta. Didn't cost me much. And oh, I tell you, even if it did, the look on her face and the joy would have been well worth it. It really would have been. Because to her, it meant a whole lot. And sometimes we forget. And things are going to get really, really bad. And in our process of worrying about ourselves, we forget the elderly. Even maybe the elderly in our own family. Now, some of the elderly in our family may be doing just fine. Some of them may not be. We may know someone else that's not doing that great as elderly. And an extra can of something would be a tremendous help to them. Maybe they can store away a little bit to themselves with a little help from us that can. A 50-cent extra can of sweet peas or 2 cans would be a great help to an elderly person. I take the carcasses of the chicken, roasted chicken that I make, and I know lots of people who buy Walmart's roasted chicken, and they throw the carcasses in the garbage. An elderly person can take those carcasses and freeze them, and they can get enough meat off of there to make a whole lot of different kinds of dinners. That carcass put into a pot and heated, and then cool the carcass down and pull all the meat off, makes a great pot of chicken and dumplings, or even a great pot of chicken noodle soup. You can get enough meat off of there to make quite a few tacos. So maybe save your carcasses. If you yourself don't save them and don't use them, then you toss them away. And somebody that's elderly, take them to them. And then explain to them all the different things that they can do with that carcass. You make your Thanksgiving dinner. You throw away your turkey frame? Turkey frame makes a wonderful soup. Maybe you should ask them, would you like to have my turkey frame? Maybe they can get enough meat off of it themselves to make a few turkey dinners and even a turkey soup. Now, think of ways that you can reach out to the elderly. I don't know, a bottle of NyQuil or a bottle of Pepto-Bismol or a bottle of aspirin. Just anything, some small amount, something that's $1. Even if you don't have much yourself, you know, you can be a blessing to somebody that's older, because it is going to get really, really bad. And you know what's going to be the worst? Well, it's going to be really bad for a lot of women out there with kids on welfare. It's going to be real rough on them. But I don't feel as bad for them because I know that they're capable of working. Now, if you're not capable, then trust me, you have my sympathy. You do. If you're handicapped or you've got something that's seriously wrong, an illness, you have all my sympathy from my heart. But my heart goes to the elderly, because they've become of an age that they really can't work anymore. They've become elderly and older and they can't. But the wisdom and knowledge that they carry in their mind is priceless for many. Many of them have knowledge that is absolutely priceless. So if we can reach out, please, some way to help someone that we know that might be elderly and be a blessing to them, trust me, it will come back on us double fold. It will. If nothing else, then smiles and kisses and hugs. And it'll be all worth it in the end. But reach out to someone that you might know, a neighbor, a friend of the family, anybody that you can think of. Actually be active in looking around and getting to know them, getting to know the kind of foods they like, the things they like to eat. See if you can make some suggestions to them. Help them out a little bit. If you find a 10-pound bag of chicken on sale, I find 10-pound bags of chicken for $2.50 in my area when it's on sale. An extra bag. Help them out so that they can stretch their budget and maybe be able to put a little away for their times when it's coming. When food is so high that if you wanted to help them, you wouldn't be able to afford to. When the time comes and you're looking at elderly hungry, but I ask you, reach out and God bless.